Are you ready for one of the biggest immigration updates of 2025? Australia has just announced a shocking visa ban that directly affects 10 Asian countries, and the news is creating waves around the world. If you're planning to apply for an Australian visa this year, or if you already have one in process, this is something you cannot afford to miss. In today's video, we are going to break down exactly what this ban means, why it's happening, and how it could impact students, workers, and families who are hoping to build their future in Australia. The details might surprise you, and the long-term consequences could completely change the immigration landscape. But before we dive into the full story, ask yourself this: could your country be on the list? And if so, what options are left for people who still dream of coming to Australia in 2025? Stay tuned, because I'll be sharing the official updates, expert analysis, and possible alternatives you need to know right now. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss urgent immigration news. This is AUS Immigration, your trusted source for the latest updates and insights. So, let's get straight into it. The Australian government has officially confirmed new restrictions that are sending shockwaves across the immigration community. Starting in 2025, certain visa categories for applicants from 10 specific Asian countries will no longer be accepted. This decision isn't just a small policy tweak. It's one of the biggest shifts in Australia's immigration history in the past decade. Now, the immediate question everyone is asking is, why? Why would a country like Australia, which has relied heavily on skilled migrants, international students, and global talent from Asia, suddenly put such a strong block in place? According to government sources, the reasoning comes down to three main factors. Population pressure. Cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane are overcrowded. Rents are skyrocketing. Infrastructure is strained, and even local Australians are struggling to find affordable housing. The government believes slowing down immigration from certain regions could help ease this pressure. Job competition. Many Australians feel they're losing out on jobs to temporary migrants. Post-pandemic recovery has been slow, and the government is under pressure to prioritise citizens and permanent residents. Visa misuse. There's growing concern about people overstaying their visas, working outside legal limits, or using student visas as an indirect way to gain permanent residency. Officials argue these loopholes are being exploited at unsustainable levels. But here's something very important to note. This is not a total ban on all visas from these countries. It mainly targets student visas, temporary work visas, and visitor visas. Some permanent residency pathways remain open but are expected to face stricter requirements in the near future. Which countries are on the list? Now let's address the big question. Which 10 Asian countries are affected? Before I list them, keep in mind that Australia did not randomly choose these nations. The selection was influenced by immigration numbers, overstay rates, and reported misuse of visa programs. The 10 countries are India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Myanmar, Burma, Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines. If your country is on this list, you need to pay very close attention to the details I'm about to share, because the type of visa you're applying for will determine whether you are directly impacted. For example, if you're from India or Nepal and planning to study in Australia in 2025, you might face outright rejection for a student visa unless you meet new exceptional criteria. Similarly, applicants from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka looking for low-skilled work visas may find those categories completely closed off. But there's a twist. Australia still wants highly skilled professionals. So if you're applying under programs like the Skilled Independent Visa, Subclass 189, or have a job sponsorship under the Subclass 482, you might still have pathways available, though competition will be fiercer and requirements tougher. Who will be most affected? This policy change will hit three groups of people the hardest. Students. Thousands of young people from Asia choose Australia each year to study. For many, it's not just about education but also about building a future pathway to permanent residency. With the new ban, student visa approvals from these 10 countries could drop by more than 70%. That means fewer opportunities to study in Australian universities and colleges. Temporary workers. Many industries in Australia, like hospitality, agriculture, and construction, rely heavily on workers from Asian countries. This ban will cut off a major labour supply, leaving employers scrambling. For applicants, it means one of the easiest ways to enter Australia for short-term work is now closed. Families and visitors. Families hoping to reunite, attend weddings, or visit loved ones could face visa rejections. Visitor visas for these 10 countries will be under extra scrutiny, with many outright denied unless there is a strong reason to grant entry. Government's justification. So, what is the Australian government saying about all of this? Officials claim this move is not anti-Asia but rather pro-Australia. They argue that the ban is temporary and designed to give Australia's housing market, job market, and visa system some breathing room. The Immigration Minister stated, "Australia remains committed to skilled migration, but we must act responsibly to protect our economy, our citizens, and the integrity of our borders." That sounds official, but many critics are calling this policy discriminatory and unfair. They argue that international students, in particular, are one of Australia's biggest revenue sources. Cutting them off could harm universities, reduce cultural exchange, and even slow down Australia's economy. Reactions from affected countries. As you can imagine, the response has been strong. In India, where Australia is a top choice for students, education agents are reporting massive panic. Thousands of applications are being reconsidered. In Nepal, where migration to Australia has become a huge trend, the news has sparked protests outside government offices. Bangladesh and Pakistan have officially requested clarifications through diplomatic channels, with some politicians calling this a hostile act. Meanwhile, in the Philippines and Vietnam, migrant worker groups are voicing concern about lost job opportunities and income streams for families back home. On social media, hashtags like #LetUsStudyAustralia and #VisaBan2025 are trending, showing just how emotional and far-reaching this decision is. Are there alternatives? Now, if you're from one of these affected countries, this is the part you need to listen to carefully. Just because certain visa categories are banned doesn't mean all doors are closed. There are still options, though they may be more competitive. Skilled migration pathways. If you have a strong professional background in fields like IT, engineering, healthcare, or trades, you may still qualify for skilled migration visas. The government has hinted that they will continue to prioritize talent shortages. Regional visas. Australia is still encouraging migrants to settle outside major cities. If you're open to studying or working in regional areas, you may find exemptions or special programs available. Scholarship-based study. Some universities are negotiating with the government to allow exemptions for scholarship students. If you have excellent grades, this could be your ticket in. Other countries. Let's be realistic. If Australia is not an option, you can also consider other destinations like Canada, the UK, New Zealand, or even Germany, which continue to welcome migrants from Asia. So, the big question is, how long will this ban last? The government has not given an exact end date but has described it as a temporary measure. Experts predict it could last anywhere from 18 months to 3 years, depending on how quickly housing and job markets stabilize. There's also speculation that the ban may not apply uniformly. Some countries on the list might see their restrictions lifted earlier if they negotiate with Australia or if data shows improved compliance with visa rules. For now, however, 2025 is looking extremely challenging for anyone from these 10 Asian countries hoping to migrate, study, or even visit Australia. This is undoubtedly one of the most significant immigration updates in recent memory. Whether you agree with the government's decision or not, the fact remains. It will impact thousands of families, students, and workers who had dreams of moving to Australia in 2025. So, here's my advice. Stay informed, explore all possible visa alternatives, and don't give up hope. Immigration policies change, and opportunities can reopen. And remember, you don't have to go through this confusion alone. That's exactly why I created this channel, AUS Immigration, to bring you the latest news, clear explanations, and practical guidance so you can make the best decisions for your future. White right pointing backhand index if you found this video helpful. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this video with anyone who's affected by these changes. Your support helps me continue bringing you accurate, timely updates. And now, I want to hear from you. Is your country on this list? Were you planning to apply for an Australian visa in 2025? Do you think this ban is fair or unfair? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and your stories matter. This is AUS Immigration, and I'll see you in the next update.